Correspondent Cecilia Vega. And Cecilia, President Biden and our allies are doing more now to crack down on Russia.
Yeah, George, we in fact could be looking at some of the strictest sanctions in modern history. What they're doing right now has really been described as the financial nuclear weapon. So they're cutting off Russia from this SWIFT banking system. Essentially, it allows big banks, large banks to send international transactions. They're still working out the details, but essentially we could be talking about ultimately crushing Russia's ability to do so much of its business beyond its own borders. Perhaps even bigger than that, though, George, is this targeting of Russia's central bank. This is a really big deal because it's targeting this some $600 billion that Russia has set aside to sort of sanction-proof its economy. And on top of that, now, listen to this. Officials are talking about targeting some of the richest Russians, freezing their assets in the West. And they are being really explicit about this. They're saying they're going after their yachts, their mansions, their mega luxury apartments, even their ability to send their children to fancy colleges in the West. So really, we're seeing the West, this administration and its allies cast this really wide net, going after Putin himself, going after those close to him, but also, as James was just saying, really hitting the Russian economy so much that Putin could be facing some pretty serious political backlash there at home in Moscow. And the point right now, George, they're really trying to push Moscow to this point, almost looking at the Iran model, turning it into a huge pariah on the international stage.
More military aid for the Ukrainians as well.
Yeah, this is a really big deal. That new package, Ian mentioned $350 million in this latest package, $1 billion total overall in this crisis. Ukrainian leaders had been pleading for more weapons, particularly those that would allow them to target planes and helicopters, Russians in the sky. The U.S. had been hesitating to send these surface-to-air missiles, partly out of fear of provoking Russia. Certainly that changed. The big question this morning, though, is how they're going to get those weapons to Ukraine, given the situation there right now on the ground. And one other huge move to tell you about, George, Germany with a big reversal, reversing this policy to not send lethal aid to conflict zones. Right now, they are agreeing to help Ukraine with some big weapons. So that front line there, they're about to get a lot of firepower, George.
Cecilia Vega, thanks very much.